Hello everyone and welcome to this special video here where I'm going to talk about one of my favorite anime and manga series of all time, and as you can see I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, very clever. But what I really especially love about this series, besides of course the awesome fighting, the great storylines, the amazing um, landscapes in the series, and also just the overall lore behind it, is of course all of the incredible characters that the show has made over the years. And now it's to the point where there's like over 9,000 characters almost in this multiverse. But when it comes to my absolute favorites, it has to be the ones from good old DBC. And as you can see, I'm in the tier maker here, but I have done so that I can make like a countdown of my top 10, actually 11 characters, because I also want to mention another special character here. Um, because then, and I thought that this could just make it more easy for me if I point and then there's the next one and so on and so forth. So now I'm just going to go from one end to the other and just going to talk about my favorite characters in this series. So let's go. And first off, we have Broly, which is number 11. And what I just love about him is that he is what we thought was that Goku was going to be way back in the original DBC. By the way, I'm only going to talk about characters from DBC and the original Dragon Ball because I don't care much about Super. Actually, even though I love Beerus, but he's not on the list, so whatever. But what I love about Broly is that, well, other than his slim physique, his amazing physique and his ultimate power and his awesome green hair, is and I love green, is that he lore wise is supposed to be like an ultimate powerhouse, and he's meant to like triumph over so much, like what the Saiyans used to do, like tear down planets and stuff, and just don't giving a fuck about it or anything. But they actually fleshed him a lot more out in the new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which is probably my one of my favorite Dragon Ball movies to date, and made him more sympathetic and not just a warmonger, even though that was his entire image at first. And of course, he's just very badass, and what he does is just so cool. And I can't help but love Broly. I mean, everyone who has seen some of the Broly movies just know that he's amazing in some way, even though there's not so much character to me yet. There's just so much potential to him, and yeah, it's just a great idea with him being like the kind of outcast, and hasn't found his purpose yet, but is going to and stuff. But is also capable of so much. I mean, he had a power level of 10,000 at birth, so who knows? But yeah, that's just why I love Broly. He's just a walking powerhouse of potential in a way. So yeah, that's about him. Now on to the next number 10 spot here, which is Mr. Satan or Hercule. And I just love him because he's just a great comic relief in general for the series. He's just such an interesting addition to the series. Like, he's proclaimed to be the world martial arts champion, even though he is barely incapable of doing something Krillin could do. But he somehow makes lies about it, and people just buy it, and it's just very funny that he just tries to hide it as best he can, and he has so many great lines about that, his awkwardness and such. And he's just so much fun every time I see him on screen. I just laughed every time I saw him on screen, and he's just a great comic character. Now on to the next one, Bulma. And what I really like about Bulma, especially compared to Chi-Chi, which is another okay character, is that she's much more useful to the plot. I mean, has been there since the very beginning, helping our main heroes with a lot of stuff with her tech and her knowledge, and plus she's super rich, so that helps. And yeah, I just really like how she has developed through the series. She's kind of like Tails in a way, because she has all that technology at her disposal, but she just has so much good to give to the cast. She's always so likable. She's always there for the cast, and she just has so many great moments with the cast still. Even though she's not fighting, she still can do a lot on her own, and I just love her for that. Plus, she's with Vegeta, so that's great. Now, the next one I actually have put together, and this is Kid Buu, or just Majin Buu, and he's a kind of nostalgic one for me, especially because I used to watch a lot of the Kid Buu fights with a friend, especially, and that was just amazing battle. And I just really like the thing that he's like this chaotic being who just does whatever he wants, and he can just like eat all that stuff from the earth, like turn everyone into candy and stuff, which is great. But also that he's just like pure evil craziness and hard to stop. He has so many cool abilities and forms, and I just love him as a villain because he is like this ultra being that makes our heroes do a lot of stuff to do against them, and I just love that. And then there's King Kai, who, because I love mentor characters especially, it's probably my favorite kind of characters. I just love because he's just a really nice teacher, but also can be very strict and harsh, but also has a good moral in his teaching, but also like being very funny with trying to teach Goku stuff, and of course he taught him a lot of stuff, and I just love him because he's also has a funny personality and just very likable. Yeah, and that's just why I like him. Next up is Frieza, and he is my favorite Dragon Ball villain of all time. He has such a I love those tyrannical leaders who has so much authority over his entire, he owns practically most of the universe and first when we see him, and that's just really great because he has a lot of power. But when he gets furious, he gets so furious when things don't go his way, and he has just so much amazing power. He's actually one of the most powerful beings in the whole Dragon Ball universe right now, because of Black Frieza, of course. But even back then, he just had such an amazing demeanor and was just so sadistic when he needed to be, and he just has so many great lines and just a really great presence, and I just love Frieza, simply. Now, the next one is Trunks, and he's just a great future guy. I don't really typically like those swords too much, even though I do like Silver from Sonic, but which he's based on. But I just really like Trunks. He has so much. A great entrance is just to start off with. He killed Frieza, but he's also a great arc with him trying to get back to the past and fix the future and all that timey-wimey stuff. But he also has, he's just a cool character and has a lot of great moments. And of course, he's the son of Vegeta, which is always nice. And he's just very cool. So yeah. And now we have Son Goku, the main character of all of Dragon Ball. All of us know Goku, of course. He's the most iconic one, but he has also gone through so much. It's so amazing. And it's amazing that he's still thriving. He's trying to do his best. Loves a good fight. Loves food. But it's just Goku. I mean, there's still so much more potential he has. It's amazing. Even though he has done a lot and has a whole family now, he still is going out there trying to save the world. And with his weird morality, he just always wants to do the best for all people. Even he doesn't even want to kill the villains, which is so weird, like Batman. But he just has his own moral, and that's how he does, and that's just amazing. So yeah, I want to Piccolo, and I just love one of those like uncle characters who's trying to do his best to be a good uncle to Son Gohan, but also he has a very good arc with him trying to be more of a hero, and that's just great. And I just really like how he tries to take care of Gohan and all that stuff, and those two dynamics are some of the best in the show, and he just has a lot of cool abilities, and yeah, he's Piccolo. So so next one is on Gohan, and I really resonate with Gohan because he reminds me a lot of when I was little, and when I was also kind of insecure about being thrown into such much stuff, and he goes through so much at just age 4, which is crazy, but I can just really relate to that and how he struggles to do all of that, and you're just with him all the way through, even though it's so harsh. And I just love that arc, especially when he defeats Cell. It's just great culmination. And now finally Vegeta. Of course, it's Vegeta. He's a great anti-hero, has such a great arc. He's the Prince of All Saiyans, you know it. But yeah, he has just such an amazing development, and he has so many cool abilities. He has just an amazing way of doing things. Everything goes against him, but he tries to push his hardest, and it's just an ultimate betrayal of something I think we've all tried to feel like when we were struggling with things, and it's just amazing to see him go through it. I still love Shadow more when it comes to edgelords personally, but he's an amazing character and my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters. And thank you very much. That was it. See you next time.